So if you've been watching Jujutsu Kaisen, basically Gojo has this ability where he explains that nothing can get to him. This is known as infinity or limitless. However, there are people that have managed to get past this. We have Toji, who uses a special grade curse tool which nullifies powers and abilities, which in this case nullified Gojo's. We have Prison Realm, which sealed Gojo. And we also have Sukuna, who basically just cut him in half, because he targeted all of space and all of existence and just cut that in half, as it says here. Now the thing about this event is that if you were using the Prison Realm, you need to provide a distraction in order to distract Gojo long enough, because Prison Realm is a sealing ability that takes an entire minute, and anything within a 4-meter radius will be sealed if it stays within that radius for an entire minute. So they come up with this elaborate plan, the curses that is, in order to keep Gojo in that Prison Realm for an entire minute. And they said even if they had 1,000 humans that were getting slaughtered in front of Gojo, that wouldn't be enough to distract him for that entire minute. So eventually they tried to just open the gate and it starts sealing Gojo. But the thing that kept him there long enough was seeing his best friend that should be dead not be dead. And him thinking about everything that happened between them in that time was enough. And then, as it says here, all possibilities is real are rejected by 6 eyes because you can obviously see through illusions. Now, for some reason, people thought, especially the biased ones, that when I said illusions would work on Gojo, that's how he would be defeated. There are many people in all of fiction that don't need illusions. You see, the thing is with Prison Realm is that it was never stated to nullify abilities, yet Gojo was sealed away. So Gojo still had the infinity active, but he was sealed away. So this proves that any sealing ability that's powerful enough to seal someone like Gojo would work. And sealing abilities would scale to the power of that character, similar to Dragon Ball. So we know that people in the Jujutsu Kaisen verse clearly would basically be sealed away with any jutsu that was used by a person that's able to destroy, for example, planets. Because people blowing up planets would have enough energy to destroy a planet. Therefore, they would be able to put enough energy of a planet to seal away someone like Gojo. So for example, Hagoromo and Hamura literally sealed away the Ten-Tails corpse inside the moon. And this was a permanent effect, like the Naruto moon was literally created by Hagoromo and Hamura. Now, the reincarnation of these two, which was Indra and Ashura, in other words, Naruto and Sasuke, they used the same Chibaku Tensei, you can literally see the words here, to seal Kaguya Osutsuki permanently. Like, that's how they beat her. They couldn't kill her with their AP alone. They had to seal her away. And as Gojo says, damn it, they got me, he was sealed away by an ability that was never stated to nullify any of the abilities in Jujutsu Kaisen. It wasn't a power nullification. It didn't say that it was a special grade curse tool. It literally just said it will seal anything in a minute in 4 meters. So what this means is that anything that can seal Gojo and take around a minute to do so will work. You would literally have to ignore the entire chapters, the entire story, the entire plot to claim that Gojo could not be sealed here when he literally was. Now, the thing about Prison Realm is, as I said, it takes a whole freaking minute. Chibaku Tensei is literally instantaneous. And not to mention, Boruto Osutsuki is dealing with attacks that are faster than light, and he's dodging them, he's creating, he's attacking, he's fighting at this speed. He can control the entire planet's energy so that nobody can even get close to him, because the rotation of the planet, or the wind that you can see around here, is literally preventing people from touching Boruto. So he has like a very similar thing to Gojo's Limitless, just in a different way. And he literally says that the damage that comes from this Rasengan, or the Uzuhiko, is literally semi-permanent. Like it would be permanent if the planet stopped spinning. But because the planet is basically going to be spinning for the majority of people's lives, he can leave this ability on and people can't get close to him. So I don't even understand why people think this comes even close. Like, people already think that DMS Kakashi slams Gojo. But now we're talking about a dude who literally is pretty much Momoshiki plus hacks. Like, he's got extra hacks that we don't even understand yet completely, like the Jorgan. Every single new chapter in Boruto, he's basically releasing new abilities. Like in the last chapter, he just used the flying daijin, like he can teleport. Now, moving on to the second thing that you could possibly do, besides sealing, you could also use some sort of power nullification. So there are thousands of characters in anime or fiction in general that have the ability to cancel out other people's abilities. Now, obviously, those abilities are limited to the types of people those characters have used it against. Well, Aizawa Sensei has the ability to turn off other people's abilities or quirks. So technically, he could just look at Gojo and just turn off the limitless. But the problem is like, we don't really know to what extent this ability works. And then you can make many other arguments like Aizawa could get speed blitz and he doesn't have enough attack potency to finish off Gojo anyways. So this is what I meant by, depending on the kinds of people they're turning off abilities, like they need to be proven to work against like Thanos as an example, or people on Thanos level. Or in this instance, if Aizawa was fighting people on Gojo level, then he would be able to turn off his ability and then, defeat him. Now I'm going to go back to the Borushiki or Boruto example because I'm reacting to a video about Boruto versus Gojo. Momoshiki has the ability to absorb almost any jutsu and ability. This is why the Asutsuki are really annoying. And pretty much all of the characters we're seeing in Boruto right now, the main villains, their main power is the power to absorb stuff. Like this is the 4 new villains that just got released. They're literally just the divine tree evolved. And the purpose of the divine tree is to basically absorb all energy or chakra or all living things. And multiple times throughout Naruto and Boruto, they explain that chakra and energy are pretty much the same things. Like at one point, they basically explain that chakra is the energies from the body and the spirit. So it's energy. And then they also explain later on that ninjutsu is obviously like the combination of mind and body energy. And then as we get, further into the series, we also learn that there's the planet's energy, the 6 parts chakra, in other words. We also learn that energy can be absorbed from planets. So there's also planet energy. It's not just chakra. So people that say the argument like, Gojo can't be harmed by chakra-based abilities because he doesn't use this and therefore can't be harmed. That's just a cop-out argument. That's literally like saying that none of the cursed energy abilities will work on Boruto. The way things usually work in every versus battle is basically if you have a superpower, you can use your powers on other people. Like we just see it as powers or like a universal energy. How they produce their powers is more of a narrative problem, not a versus battles problem. So anyways, we actually see Momoshiki, Momoshiki absorbs their abilities. Like as you can see here, it says that Shikamaru's shadow paralysis was randomly pulled out on all the Kage. And if it wasn't for that random Boruto vanishing Rasengan, Momoshiki would have beaten all of them here. So in theory, if Momoshiki is able to absorb people's abilities, he should be able to absorb other people's jutsu's abilities and therefore use them. And to be fair, I don't even think Boruto would need to use Gojo's limitless even if he absorbed it. He could just use that absorption ability to get rid of it and then neg him anyways. He could also just straight up go Chibaku Tensei, end of fight. And the reason why I'm saying all these Momoshiki powers is, remember, Boruto is 86% Momoshiki, and he has access to all of his abilities and his past experiences, plus any other Osutsuki that he absorbed. This is why he's pulling out the flying daijin. He can see abilities, copy them, because this is what Osutsuki do, basically. They just steal stuff. They are parasites, and they're made to just evolve, adapt, steal, and become stronger. And they sacrifice things to the divine tree to get even more stronger. But now, the divine trees are basically rebelling. And if this is the source of the Asutsuki's powers, but they've basically become real entities now, these guys would be significantly stronger than the Asutsuki. And perhaps are the reason why Shibai is no longer in existence. And the other way you can bypass the infinity is just to attack all of space and existence itself, which would in turn therefore cut Gojo in half because he basically just cut everything in half. Lastly, if you are infinite speed, or if you are immeasurable speed, you could totally just run wherever Gojo is and catch up. Because his limitless effectively slows down things coming to him. But if he can't control the speed at which they're coming, or which objects are attacking Gojo, then those objects will make it through. I also forgot to mention that the reason why he didn't just reverse all of this damage is because he used up his domain expansion so many times that he couldn't heal himself anymore. So if you kill Gojo 5 times, he'll basically not be able to revive. Until we see more in the chapters, this is basically the main ways that people have overcome Gojo's ability already.